Good evening, everyone. Yeah, I've moved over here for Saturdays, and we're going to be backing it up an hour next week, guys, where we're going to move to the 10 p.m. slot because it makes it a lot better for everyone. You know, I ran across an old book of mine that I really, really like, and it had some meditational tapes because, you know, I've done a lot of it, and it was interesting to see that they still had I still owned this cassette player. That was amazing. And it was talking about the power of our minds. And you got to remember, this came out in probably the mid-'80s. And, you know, when it came out in the mid-'80s, it was a lot different to, you know, our thoughts and theories, because this was pre-Secret. This was pre-Abraham Hicks. This was pre-everything. And it was one of the old spiritualist mediums talking about the power of the human mind. We only use 1/10 of our power normally of the mind. And she was talking about the vibrations and how, you know, if you visualize, and that means see it in your mind, or, you know, if you're a great artist, and now now we have the internet, so you can find a picture of anything you want. And taking time to clear that mind and focus on that you're able to attract it. Sounds like she's using the Secret or the law of attraction. Guess what? They're all the same damn thing. But then, you know, you go into, and I was looking at something else, but it was talking about what's your highest and best good, and, you know, you should make decisions from your own truth. And I agree with both of those. But, you know, sometimes those decisions and those own truths aren't the same thing. And we get a little bit concerned when it's not the same thing because, you know, you don't want to speak from the mental mind that says, I'm hungry, feed me cookies. I want to, you know, blow something up, find me rock and fire. You want to come from that higher consciousness. But, you know, when you're in that position of dealing with what I call the mental mind and dealing with the idealism of, you know, well, I really need to pay my bill here, or I really need to have this in my life. People get really stuck on that. Well, you know, if I take it, because, you know, a lot of religion has a principle that says, you know, whatever you put out comes back to you 3, 10, 13, 40 folds. And people get in this fear state of, ooh, I want this, but no, I don't want this, and totally uncomfortable, and, you know, and it's, you know, or if I ask for it and Uncle Joe dies, then, you know, I killed Uncle Joe. No, you didn't kill Uncle Joe. You know, just because he, you know, wheeled you $1,500, $15,000, you didn't kill him because you needed $1,500 to fix your boat or to move houses or to buy your property. You didn't do that. And we in ourselves have to get past that guilt of having what we deserve, what we want in our lives. You know, and then you have the people that have this, but I charted this. I had to go through life and figure this out, and yeah, I'm putting money there. Really? You put money there? Yeah, it's in my chart. You know, I've looked at the Akashic records. I know, you know, that I'm down here as a Hermetian. I'm down here as a humanitarian. I've also decided to take a few extra courses as an explorer, and I've charted. So if I don't have this or I don't have that, it's my fault because I'm the one that charted it. No, you didn't. So let's kind of think about this for a moment. Yeah, you know, we come down here and we basically draw out in our charts what we're going to experience. And sometimes we may have decided to remember to put, you know, that, you know, we were going to go through some financial difficulties. And you can go through financial difficulties with $10 or $10,000, but it's kind of like in video games, especially some of these newer RPG ones, where there's like stuff all over the place, and if you think about it, you can reach in it and get it, and it doesn't affect the game. It's just you taking care of you. So when you're making those decisions, you've got to release that guilt, release that worry, and say, you know what? I can have an accident, but it can be a fender bender. I don't have to have a massive accident, and I can drive down the road of life in the car I want. It doesn't have to be a jalopy, and it's not going to change the lesson. It's the same thing as if someone goes to a public school or a private school. At the end of the day, they both get a high school diploma. Same thing with your life charts, guys. So, we're going to take some calls and chit-chat a little bit, because this is, Conversations with Aeson, and you guys are my co-hosts, and we'll get your thoughts and ideas on some things. All right, so let's go to, where's number one here? 222-415. 41.
Hi there. Good evening.
Good evening. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Doing awesome, honey. How can I help you?
Well, I'm glad to notice that there's sound, because a couple of nights ago there was no sound on this station. And
there's been some issues, and we've been working with that.
I think it was Blog Talk, because their site was down for many hours. And then that night there was just no sound on your station, and I was like, okay, this seems like some kind of maintenance Blog Talk upgrade issue. So anyway, my question is, sweetie, it looks like this case that I put forth to the Consumer Protection Department is moving along, because my landlady actually hired a professional company to come out and test my storage area and 2 other storage areas next to mine on this water damage mold issue. I looked into the company, and they have really good reviews, meaning that they are very professional and do their job, which is a first for her, because she normally looks for the cheapest person in town and tries to do everything on the cheap. So I'm like, oh, my God, I'm impressed. But I went down there on the day that they came out, and she was giving me like a whole lot of shooting these daggers at me, because that's what she does when somebody.
And because that's the money that she had to spend, because she didn't want it. She wanted to be Miss Queen Babaloo there, and you walked out going, what y'all up to? Oh yeah, y'all guys might want to look over there, and she's just waiting for you to say something. Because she knows her butt's in the hook.
She knows what?
She knows her butt's in the hook.
Yeah, exactly. She doesn't like she wants us to just swallow whatever she tells us. Okay, that's fine by us. We're not going to question, even though it's obvious that everything you said isn't the truth or is far away from the truth. But I just have to ignore her, her pissy attitude.
And you have to roll your eyes.
Yeah, I just know my rights, and I have to ignore her, because if this is how she treats good tenants. Actually, one other tenant I was friends with moved out, and the reason is she just didn't want to put up with her pissy attitudes and her failure to rectify damage. And so instead of getting into these confrontations with her or these challenges with her, she just decided to move. And I totally respect that. It's a little harder for me just on a health issue level. But that being said, I'm just wondering if you could shed some light in when this will kind of – I have no pleasure in having to do this, but I have to do it. And I just wondered if you could just kind of shed some light on when it may be wrapped up.
Within about 3 weeks, but it doesn't wrap up for 6, because she ain't going to be happy.
Oh, that means it's going to be justice for me. That's what it means. If she's not happy, it means I get justice.
Well, honey, you're going to get justice anyhow, because, this is a health issue, and they ain't playing games with it.
Yeah. If it was in my apartment, if it was actually inside my apartment, I would be able to get the housing. They have the environmental health agency, and I would actually be able to get somebody from there. I tried months ago. I wrote letters. I called, and they almost came out, but she got in touch with them just in the nick of time and said, oh, no, I'm going to go and clean out the room. Well, she did clean out the area, but she didn't clean it out properly. So this is why I'm at this phase now. Do you see me getting, because I've lost things in there. I'm not trying to be greedy, but I do want to get properly compensated for the things that I have lost in there. It cost me money to buy them, and it cost me money. And so, I don't deserve to be the one that loses out. No,
and you won't be.
Okay. Now, I don't know if you mentioned that before, but...
Listen to me. If you decide to stay here, because there is an option line of you moving, as soon as she gets done with all this crap, you go get renter's insurance. It ain't that expensive.
I have it now.
Okay,
I have it
you need to be talking to them.
Okay. Well, see, every state is different, and I already talked with them about it, and in California, that was not due to my negligence. That was due to her. So that's why I'm taking. If I could have settled this with my own, like renter's insurance.
No, baby, you're not getting me. What I'm saying, you make sure to get your insurance, make sure that you've got insurance on things, is because if she's dawdling her butt on this, if there was something more major, then, she'd be dawdling her butt on that too. Right.
Okay. Yeah. So I did buy it, but this is outside, and they considered that her responsibility and her failure to do proper maintenance. So, but when I go in there and if she tries to throw that out, well, you should have renter's insurance, I can always say, yes, I do have it, Suzanne, but guess what? They say this is on you.
Exactly. Which is the whole point there.
Okay.
And don't take no trade Z.
What's that, honey? Trade Z?
Don't take no trade Z. Like, what I'll do is I'll comp your rent for 3 months.
Okay.
She didn't comp your rent, so you could buy that stuff. You want a check.
Right. No, you're absolutely right. I do want to check, and I can't even go in the room. I was standing 10 feet away when he opened the door, and I came in, and my whole face was itching, and my eyes were already beginning to swell. So the air coming out of there, he was using a meter. He was to test the room, and I heard it going off a couple of times. So I suspect that when it pinged, I suspect it was picking up mold spores. I suspect that, and so
it was. Okay, and it'll be on the filter.
And I imagine he's going to have to make a report, and that's why she had him come out. But the fact that she hired a professional company was like, oh my God, hallelujah! I saw the day,
You're right. Well, she had no choice on it because it's mold, honey. Nobody deals with that. You can't get Johnny down the spot to test air. So, just keep moving forward with it.
Okay, so you do see 6 weeks it pretty much wraps up, and I will be compensated financially.
Correct. Right.
Okay.
Okay,
thank you so much. I really appreciate
You're welcome. You have a great evening.
You as well.
Okay, let's go to 780, and the last digit of the number is 4. Because we have a couple from 780. Well, maybe. There we go. 780, last digit 4. How are you? Going once, going twice. All right, we'll put you back on hold. Oh, maybe. Okay. This new board's being funky. Let's go to 321.
Hello?
312. Hi.
Hello?
Hi.
Hi, my name's Karen. Hi, how are you?
Hi. Good, Karen. How can I help you?
I have a question. I have an appeal unemployment case, but they postponed it. The judge postponed it, and then they gave me a new judge for next week.
Right.
And I'm wondering if you see that case going well with me.
It will once it gets there. Yes, it will once it gets there.
Okay.
I wouldn't be surprised if they don't postpone it again, because it looks like what they're trying to do is make you wait out.
Okay.
Okay? Like they want you to quit, and so they're just playing these tactical games with you, with their attorney, trying to get you to, get tired and just be done with it. It's just a game for them.
Okay. Okay, but do you see it eventually going in my favor?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. And do you see any extra money coming besides that from somewhere?
I feel like it being stressful for you, but I think you'll get through it. I do feel like you get some extra.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. You think that's from friends or family or?
I can't tell, honey. It just shows up.
Okay. Sounds good. Okay. Thank you so much.
Okay. You're welcome. You have a great evening. All right. Now let's go to 617. 617?
Hello.
Hi. Who we got?
This is Lisa. How are you?
Doing great, Lisa. How are you?
I am fantastic. After hearing you, I'm fantastic.
Good. How can we help you, honey?
Well, my question in regards to a friendship that I have chosen to walk away from at the moment.
Mm-hmm.
And I was told that there's some false information that is not true in regards to him. I
think there's false information flowing all around. It looks to me like you've got about 3 gossipers just spreading everything left, right, and center.
Yes. Female.
Okay. Of course. That aren't happy. So I would just let it sit. You walked away from it for your own reasons. You needed that time for you.
Right.
Don't give a darn what they're talking about. Kind of look at him and go, whatever. He doesn't have 3 heads and a toe.
I don't know. What is the gossip?
Oh, it's everything, honey. From him being a player, to him not handling money correctly, to him sleeping with everything, including a monkey. And it's just them looking to create issues because they aren't happy.
Because I also feel like they either came in between my connection with him, or he was just gullible and chose to be seduced by them.
No, he hasn't been seduced by him. He's trying to ignore him. I feel like what came into connection between you two was just all the crap, and neither one of you could put up with it.
Yeah.
So let him sit and work out his stuff, and you work out yours, and you take time for you.
Right.
Which is highly, highly important because you're stressing out again, and that ain't good for you, and you know it.
Right. That's true.
Okay, and just disconnect from those 3 old bitty hens.
Do you think we'll come back together again as friends?
Oh, yeah. And you'll come back together again as friends probably within about another 7 weeks.
7 weeks? Okay, because I don't like what happened. I mean, I just felt that there may have been pressure on him to kind of, because people saw that we were getting close, and they saw the connection that we had, and I just feel that again with these women, I thought they kind of interfered with that and kind of seduced his attention.
Right, and it wasn't that they seduced the attention; they created a need for the attention. You understand?
Oh.
Kind of like they were creating little fires for him to have to deal with.
Oh.
Okay. So, when that occurs, they're creating drama, which he has to go and take care of because they're running their mouth at each other.
I just don't understand why he just didn't ignore it.
Because it was too much up in his face, honey. I mean, come on, they're talking to everybody that'll listen to him. And with his ego, he can't tolerate that.
Yeah. So I just kind of was like, you know what? From now on, it's strictly business, and
well,
that's
the
it.
way it needs to be.
Yeah.
Until you guys can get the crap handled, and he can get the mouth shut up, and then the drama ain't being handed in there.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
So it's a good thing for both of you.
Yeah. Okay. All right, honey. Thank you so much. Good to speak with you.
You're welcome, hon. Good to speak with you,
All right. Have
too.
a great night.
You too, darling. Bye, darlings.
All right. Bye-bye.
All right. So we're going to be doing some changes here. I'm actually moving Conversations with Aeson to 10 o'clock on Saturday, starting today. So it'll be next week. We'll be at 10 o'clock on Saturdays. I am going to take a break, and I'll be right back.
So I'm a cat, and I just moved in with this new human, and she's got this little toy she's always playing with, all day long. Tap, 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 bloop, bloop. She can't put it down. There it is. Oh, and get this. She even talks to it. Last week she asked it for Chinese, and guess what? Egg rolls showed up. Like magic. Humans have cool toys.
A person is the best thing to happen to a shelter pet. Be that person. Adopt. Brought to you by the Ad Council and the ShelterPetProject.org.
Are you at a crossroads in your life? Or are you feeling stuck and not sure where to turn? We can help. Visit our website at psychic.biz from your computer, smartphone, or tablet, where you can get accurate readings and insight by speaking with any one of our tested advisors. We offer live chat, video sessions, one-on-one phone calls, and even email readings. We have several gifted psychics, tarot readers, astrologers, and other healers from around the world who are available to you 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Your initial chat is always free, and our psychics do offer special prices and low per-minute rates. Visit us today at psychic.biz and get the guidance you need today for your tomorrow.
All right, welcome back. And, Psychic Business got a few coupons running. We've got our standard one, which is coffee, and that gets you $10 free on a $15 deposit, and that can be used unlimitedly. It's not just one shot deal and then you're done. No, if you make a deposit today, you can use it next week for your reading too. Same thing with summer 16. I don't know why I've got the spring coupon stuck in my head. But summer 16, you can get $5 free, and that can be used repetitively. It isn't a one-time use thing. Guys, I was thinking about, using the power of your mind. And, how, if you would just take and figure out little places, i.e. the refrigerator, or the bathroom mirror, and cut out pictures of what you're wanting to bring into your life. Example, if you're wanting a new car, you need to go and figure out which car you want, and just cut it out and stick it in places where your mind will see it. A lot of us have a lot of blank space, and we all have computer monitors stuck up on a desk against the wall. And if you take the picture of what you're wanting and put it up against there on that wall, then your subconscious mind, who can't filter out anything, that's the conscious and the Leviathan mind that filters everything out, then you'd be putting energy into gathering that car you want, or that house you want, or that relationship you want. So be thinking on that and, giving it a try. So we're going to take some more calls. Let's go to 305. 305?
Hi, Aeson. How are you? It's Deanna.
Hi, Deanna. I'm doing great. How are you, honey?
Well, I was happy to see that you had a program on tonight. I figured I'd listen, but then I got the temptation to call after I was listening to the last caller or two.
Okay. Well, how can I help you, Deanna?
Well, my work was at a lull this last week. I didn't work at all, and I'm feeling insecure because when I don't work, I eat less.
Right.
I was wondering if you could see if there is actually an issue or if it's just summertime.
It's just summertime, honey. I feel like you're going to pick up. Okay?
Yeah.
I feel like in general it's just a long, it's summertime, work is slow, but it'll pick up. It's going to be actually a lot better.
Oh, that's a relief.
Okay? And I really feel with your work that you've got to really stay, and you need to look at your patterns. Here's an example. I know from October 31st to February 18th every year, it's going to be crazy. Okay? So I bring in a second assistant for that period of time. You need to look at your historical record pattern of your work and go, in summer it slows down, so I need to pick something extra up. Okay? But it ain't that long, so it's not like I need a second full-time job. Okay? Because I think you're going to do fine. You're welcome, honey.
I'll keep on listening if you put me on hold, if I can.
Oh, I'll put you back in listen mode, honey.
Thank you, Aeson.
Honey.
Blessings.
Blessings, dear. All right. Let's go to 631. 631, you're on the air.
Yes, hi. Thanks for taking my phone call.
You're welcome, hon.
Hi, this is Suzanne. My first question is, when do you see a companion coming into my life?
Let me take a look here, honey. Are we wanting a new one? Yeah, we need a new one. Okay. I was going to say, we need a new one. It looks to me to be probably around the end of August. Okay? It'll be right at the beginning of the harvest time, so that'll be at the end of August, okay? And I feel like it's going to be totally new. He's not there now. I feel like he's even going to be a different type than you're used to dating. Okay?
Like how?
Like totally different. Example, if you normally date tall men, he's going to be average height. If you normally date businessmen, he's going to be a construction worker. Because it's showing totally brand new.
Okay. And real quick, I'm going on an interview Tuesday. Do you see me getting the position?
You do, but you need to go early. And take even though you probably have already given them a resume and all that, take extra with you. Because I feel like when you get there, they're totally disorganized because they're just that short-handed.
Really?
Really.
Well, yeah, they have an application. I don't know because my resume, I have to go to the library and print it out again. And
take it with you.
Really?
Really.
Because it's just for a monitor position.
I know, honey, but go ahead and take it with you early, because that way they'll have everything they need and they can get your process faster.
All right. So how am I going to meet the person, the guy that I'm meeting?
It looks to me that you meet him during, I want to say, an event, like you go somewhere with people, because you're with a group and he's with the group, but he's not part of the group.
Okay.
Okay.
All right, thank you.
You're welcome, dear. You have a good evening.
You too.
All right. We're going to take 10657. Oh, maybe if it'll let it come through. There we go.
Hello.
Hi. Who we got?
How are you?
Good. Hello?
Hello.
You might want to step away from the speaker.
Yeah, sorry about that. Can you hear me?
Yes. Who we have?
It's Michelle.
Hi, Michelle. How are you doing, hon?
I'm good, thanks. How are you?
Good. How can I help you?
I'm just curious what's coming for romance. It's been a while. I've been single for quite some time now.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Well, let me take a look here and see if you got something new. Okay. I don't feel you immediately getting into another relationship. I'm actually looking at probably the first of the year.
Okay, that's okay.
Okay, and the reason for that is this person's going through a divorce right now.
Oh, okay. Very
okay, they should have left this relationship, I want to go, almost 18 months ago. But they're just now getting out of it. Okay? So they will be freshly out of divorce. We're going to take it slow. And get to know them so that they can heal up, all right?
Yeah, it makes sense. Very cool. Now, I guess if I can ask one quick other question.
Sure.
So it seems to be raining jobs, but I'm just kind of curious where, like, will my next job come in the next month or two, or will it be sooner?
It'll be sooner, honey. I'd say 3 weeks, and I feel like you get like 3 different jobs that you get to choose from.
Oh, okay. That could make sense. Thank you. That's awesome.
All right, hon. But I think you're going to do really fun with it, and the next one's going to be a long-term one.
Okay, good. Thank you so much.
Okay, so look at it for like 5 years out.
Oh, okay. Wicked.
Okay. Awesome.
Thank you so much. Have a great evening.
You're welcome. You have a great evening.
Thank you.
All right. Yeah, guys, when you come on, please step away from the speaker because sometimes we get the feedback. All right. Let's go to, I'm going to take a call from Oz. It's a block number. So here we go. Maybe. Hi. 111. Oh, 111 was gone. What the heck is this going on? All right, let's go to 570.
Good evening, sweetheart. How are you? It's
Hi,
Marty.
baby doll. Hi, Marty. Doing great. How are you?
Oh, not too bad. Just, crappy weather, but, what are you going to do about that? Not much, so.
Well, hide out like I am. I hibernate in the winter, but anymore I'm starting to hibernate in midsummer, too.
When it's too damn hot, I can't peel myself off the air conditioner for long, so, I'm a sissy. I like spring and fall.
Me too. I swear I'm going to move somewhere where it's 70 degrees at least 9 months out of the year. It can be hotter than that, but I really just want 70 degrees.
Oh, darling, if you find that place, you better stuff my butt in your suitcase because I'm going with you.
Well, I hear it's San Diego. They normally have the record for the most mild days of 70 degrees.
My mom used to say that.
I'm seriously looking at it. I'm telling you, because this, I can't take the cold. I'm getting old and grumpy, so I don't like the cold. And now this heat, I don't even like it. I've actually parked one of my cars because it doesn't have air conditioning in it. It's like, no, you can just sit there. I'll go drive the car.
Oh, my goodness. Not much we can do about Mother Nature. Just roll with it.
Roll with it.
I would like to ask you about one thing, which I did kind of mention to you, in personal chat, but if you even get me any juicy dirt, hopefully. The people that own this community, they're dirt bags. They do all kinds of really highly unethical and blatantly illegal stuff because all they care about is money.
Exactly.
And they're like sharks. I mean, they smell blood, they go into the kill. They kick everyone when they're down. They're horrible, horrible, soulless people, and it's despicable the things I see them do to people in here.
They don't own the community; they own the land. Okay, and unfortunately, they're just problematic with that, and I don't feel like they even built it up themselves. So they're just kind of feeding off of it like locusts.
Yep. They are.
Okay,
They're
and I don't feel like that
parasites.
period's going to last much longer.
Well, yeah, because like I mentioned to you, I had gotten in meditation several days back, whenever it was, like it came to me very strongly that all of a sudden this mountain of karma they've been storing up is fixing to cut loose on their butts.
Right.
And I asked you, and you kind of concurred. I was just wondering if you could get anything like I mean, maybe it's not very evolved of me to, say, oh God, I'd love to see them get theirs, but
Baloney.
so
That
fine,
is very
I haven't reached sainthood yet, but honestly,
okay.
I would like to see them get their own medicine. So.
And they will get their own medicine, and it'll be here very soon. And I really feel that, in general, that the relationship that they get tangled up in is already occurring. So that would probably be within 6 to 9 weeks. Understand that's estimated time because, everything's a chain of events here.
Sure.
But it's big. I really feel like it's big.
Because, I mean, you would actually be appalled beyond all belief if you knew even half the crap that I have found out. And I think I only know the tip of the iceberg.
Oh, you only know the tip of the iceberg, honey. I mean, because they're into more stuff than what you think. But here's the thing with it. It's not unevolved to want justice. And that's what you're wanting.
Oh, yeah. And I mean, it's like, yeah, they screwed me, but the way I've seen them screw other people that were so down and out, it just makes me sick. I mean, it just makes my blood boil. So it's really not out of a selfish, you smite me, I'm going to smite you back kind of a thing. It's the broader
that's how
picture.
the universe works, is when you do really awful, ignorant, crappy stuff, the universe goes, we ain't having that. That's why they invented the law of karma, the law of return. Those are involved principles that are going to still, it's cause versus effect. They've been really nasty to people, so they're going to get nasty back 3, 7, or 10 times.
Well, and I think universe gives you the opportunity to mend your ways over and over, and if you keep taking the wrong choice again and again, service to self, screwing everybody, stomping on the poor little guy, and they do at every turn, then it's just like, okay, you blew another chance, and you're just digging your grave deeper and deeper, and I do. I totally believe in karma. But, yeah, I really got it strongly that it's about to hit the fan for them. And, I mean, honest to God, these people, belong completely bankrupt and in jail, and they deserve to lose everything. I mean, they really do.
So,
and I'm not a mean, vindictive person, but,
you're not.
Yeah, I have to say I'd like to see it.
When you're working or praying, ask Lady Justice to step in there. Okay? That's all you need to do to be sending it to them. It's just ask for Lady Justice to handle it, because she will bring equal balance to that.
So you think it is going to be in the next 2-3 months, huh?
I feel like it's 2-3 months because they're already under surveillance or under watch or something to that effect.
I mean, do you think it's going to be that the consequences are going to be that severe? Do you think they're going to they're just going to be ruined?
Right.
Good. I said good because I said sounds unevolved of me, but oh my God, these people are unbelievable. So
baloney. Okay, it doesn't sound uninvolved. It sounds normal. I kind of get onto the off track with some people because they think that, the human race has to become warm and fluffy. The universe isn't warm and fluffy. And, oh, you smacked me in the face. How cute of you to be acting like that. Crap. The universe says, no. You smacked her in the face, I'm going to knock you over in the head. That's how it works. It doesn't work in this warm, fluffy, everybody loves everybody. No. That's the other side. Down here on this side, yes, you smack me in the face, the universe will slap you in the head because you're going to get what you get 3 times back. I say 3, some say 7, others say 10. It's all theory, but basically they've got enough karmic cookies for a really awful bake sale. Let them have their bake sale.
Oh my God, no! But they could put Drake's Cakes and Little Debbie's out of business.
Exactly.
You're talking a karmic shit pile the size of Mount Everest, at least. So.
Exactly.
Oh, I mean, I could have wept for this one couple of different women in here. Stuff they did to them. Oh my God, just makes me sick. I said the lower down you are in your life, the quicker they jump on you, like friggin' vultures jumping on an animal that ain't even dead yet. You know, it's disgusting.
Well, that's
disgusting people.
They are. They have a lot of issues, and it's their fault. Just let that play itself out, honey. Okay.
Good. No, it's just one of those things. I'm just sitting back watching the fuse burn for over 2 years, and I've been saying it over and over. You know, they're just building that karma pile. I just hope I'm here to see it long. I hope I'm here long enough to see it go boom. Yeah. But good. It just bothers me on a soul level when you see people just getting away with such despicable stuff for so long, you know.
But honey, they don't get away with it for all.
Mhm.
Okay.
Good. I hope I'm here to see the fireworks, and I hope they get grandly humiliated. I really do.
Well, honey, you know, you could be in Nebraska, underneath some rock, just getting a newspaper, and you'd still see what's going to happen there.
Really?
Really. It ain't going to be pretty.
Holy moly. Oh, I like it.
Okay.
But you do still think I'm going to be out of here by the end of the year, huh?
I still think you're going to be out of there. I really would pay attention to land and property and just different things going on within your community.
And you do still think real close to here somewhere, huh?
Yep. Same area. You can still go to the park and everything, but it's kind of like a home that's been setting forever.
Like less than 5 miles?
And less than 45 minutes.
Oh, less than 45 minutes. Oh, okay.
Okay.
So like more than 5 miles then.
More than 5 miles, but not a huge big drive.
Okay.
Okay.
Wish I was any good at dowsing with maps, but oh well.
I think you just got to go and investigate, honey.
And I'm gonna get my thing by the water like I want, something by like a pond or a lake.
Yes. It won't be right up against it, but it'll be there where you can go to it.
So like I won't even have like the pond in my yard or anything, because that's like been
it'll
like my
be
dream
in your
thing.
yard, but you got to realize your yard is a couple acres.
Oh.
Okay.
I guess I'm gonna have to buy a riding mower, huh?
If it's not already there for you, honey, because when I look at this house right now, it doesn't seem like anybody's. It looks like they just walked out, shut the door, locked it, and left.
Huh. Very strange. So not in bad shape, though, huh?
Not in bad shape.
Good, because I'm not handy.
Well, that's all right, honey. And neither am I, but I figured it out. And I think all you're going to basically have to do is clean up, paint. You might have to order a glass or two, but nothing major.
Well, if I've got enough money by then to buy a house, then I'm sure I can pay somebody to come paint, so.
Exactly.
All right. I suppose there's somebody else wanting your time, love, so I will let you go. But, yeah, I feel much better
You're welcome,
knowing
honey.
these people are going to get their comeuppance. They deserve it
honey,
so richly.
Everybody always gets their comeuppance. Now, sometimes it's not on the front page of the newspaper, but no matter what, they get their comeuppance.
You know, interesting, too, because Spirit nudged me one day to Google the name of an ex-landlord who really screwed me over. I mean, really screwed me over. Another ethically bankrupt winner. And this was a few years ago, but it always stuck in my craw. I dug around, and I found a message board about him, all kinds of people he screwed over in multiple states and stuff. He'd apparently just spent 10 months in jail. Ha, 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 ha.
Well, honey, learn the lesson.
Yeah,
right,
so hopefully he learned his.
Yep. I'm going to let you go, and I'm going to take the next one, sweetie.
All right, darling. Love you. Have a great night.
Love you. You too, darling.
Bye-bye.
Okay. Now we're going to go over and visit 763. 763, how you doing?
Hi, Aeson. How are you?
Oh, doing totally evil as normal. How are you, honey?
You know, I've had one roller coaster of a week.
As always. How's that self-work going?
I haven't been offered the job yet.
You will. You know that.
Yeah. Do you know, will it be this next week?
It should be probably Tuesday or Thursday.
Okay. And will it start between 17 or closer to 20?
I'm feeling closer to the 20.
Okay. I know they really want me, but it's all a process. Okay. And then can I just tell you a little bit of what the doctor is saying right now?
Yeah.
Okay. He is saying if we do surgery, since my vital organs are what all the polyps are attached to, that it's going to do damage.
Surgeries are damaged anyway.
And if we don't do surgery, they'll start slowly shutting down my organs.
Right. So it's better to go in there and get it out.
Okay, so August 22nd. The reason I'm bringing this up to you, because, you know, I am very close to you. I love you to death. I trust you explicitly.
And you're already on my healing list, and it's going to be fine.
Well, and that's why I was asking you, because on August 22nd is when I go see the surgeon and decide which direction to go. So go ahead and go with the surgery.
Go ahead and go with the surgery, honey. You know, and, you know, let me just kind of get on the soapbox for a moment, because you've been on a roller coaster ride with this ego of a surgeon. I'm telling you, his ego is the size of Texas.
Is it? Okay.
Okay. But here's the thing. He, you know, first we started out and it was just going to be, okay, we're going to go and clean up some polyps. There are problems. Then he goes, oh, it's cancer. It wasn't cancer. I knew it wasn't cancer. The healing circle worked that night. It wasn't cancer. You're going to come through to the surgery just fine.
Okay.
Maybe even a little bit better. But you got to remember, surgeons now have to cover their butt and tell you, oh, you're going to die, even though we're going to do this surgery for you. Well, guess what? We're dying every day, with or without surgery. This is just going to make life better for you. And, you know, they're so freaking scared because of their insurance being stupidly ridiculous that they tell you the worst case scenario every darn time, and they don't know their elbows from the tooth until they get in there.
I think I did pretty good, considering he basically told me I was going to die.
Well, honey, did you say I knew that when I got here? Because you should.
I looked at him, and I said, I've been told that so many times in the last 12 years, and yet here I am, still kicking, still fighting, and still smiling most of the time.
Let me give you a little exercise I used to do with Dad. Do you know Pac-Man?
Yeah.
Have you ever played Pac-Man?
I used to play it on my lunch hour all the time.
Okay. You know he goes in there and he chops up those little pearls or whatever?
Yeah.
All right. I want you to visualize in your mind. I want you to do this for about 5-10 minutes, 2 or 3 times a day. Pac-Man going into your digestive system or wherever these polyps are and chomping at them. And just going around and step, superpower, step, superpower, all the way through your system.
You know what, Aeson? You know how I have a bad time with meditation and I need to do it? But here's something you're giving me I can do. When I was a kid, they gave me 4 months to live when I was 15. And I did the self-body therapy where I kept giving every polyp to the sky. And I lived. So same thing, except Pac-Man's eating them all. And they literally, that works. Thank you for reminding me of that.
And I'm going to clarify because this isn't my theory, okay? Aeson doesn't just pull crap out of his elbow. This comes from Dorothy Morrison. In one of her talks, she gave it puff. So if I get a chance, I'll try to share that video on my social media for people. But this works. She has seen results with it with cancer. She has seen results with it with other things.
I believe you, and you want to know why? Because there was oncologists who had me start doing this when I was like 13.
Mm-hmm.
And that is over 30 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
No, but after the surgery, I was doing great for over 20 years. And then, boom, I started getting because they never told me it would ever come back, and I was way behind by the time I knew
they didn't know. That's the whole thing.
I know, I've been a guinea pig my whole life.
Okay, it's kind of like a mechanic. You know, you take your car into the mechanic and you say, it's doing a tick, tick, tick sound over here to the left. So they go in and they play with it, and they like, okay, the tick, tick, tick is this, or the tick, tick, tick is that. Well, that's what doctors do. They're just working on a different car, one with a little bit of flesh and less oil.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, they've always told me I'm a guinea pig because I wasn't supposed to survive those past teenage years. And here I am, 54. And as you know, I have a pretty positive attitude. I have my kickbacks, not so much the last few weeks, but that day I did. I mean, I had my pity day, and then the next day I'm like, now I'm kicking butt. And, you know, you've been wonderful. I mean, Aeson, if you weren't my life coach, if you wouldn't have given me so many tools, I would have gave up. But I don't.
Well, honey,
you gave me tools to use.
And that's what you've got to do. And
power.
your pity parties are getting better. You know, I'd like to see the pity party get to a half hour and less Facebook posting about it, so that you don't have it sitting there just staring at you. But you'll get there.
I will. And I was going to say, I know you don't have much more time, but I'm nailing you back and forth on this. I totally removed and blocked you know whom. There's this guy who you know whom. Any chances of it? Go for it. There is a good chance.
Yes. Take applications, honey.
I don't think he's a
serial
soulmate.
Killer and axe murderer. Go see what he's up to.
I don't think he's a soulmate, but like you said, many
Take
times.
applications.
Yeah, and somebody who was never a soulmate becomes a soulmate because you're sitting here doing nothing, and so then you get with somebody, and then they become a soulmate maybe in your next life, you know?
Well, you know, here's the whole thing. If someone won't fill in the job on the other side, they fill it in for you.
Exactly.
You know, and that's how we get so many soulmates. That's why, you know, I've got like 6,000 I've done we've figured out about 25 lives, so a lot of them are just repetitive lessons. But that's okay. Go enjoy yourself. Figure out if you're a soulmate after you've been together 5 years.
Well, okay, so that's what I was asking. Is there, I mean, he will like me physically and emotionally?
Yeah.
Because,
you
know what?
Come
Here
at
I
him
am.
like you've done lost your elbows.
And guess what? He's beef.
I know.
He's beef. We're getting rid of, I got rid of the chicken. I blocked.
Good.
Okay?
Whatever. Just go.
I'm going forward.
Have fun.
Yeah.
Okay? Work on that
now
self-work and let Pac-Man handle it.
Now, the surgery won't affect my new job, right?
No.
Do I tell them after I'm hired or just in time for the surgery?
You tell them when you got to put in the request to get off.
Okay, that would be October. I would hope I can wait that long. Okay, Aeson, you got to
even have to go through the surgery, honey.
You got to talk about psychic.biz because it's an awesome, awesome place to go if you want the honesty and the truth. You got to talk about that now. I love you.
Yep, I do, honey. Talk to you later, hon.
All right, bye-bye.
All right, guys. Well, we've come to the end of this hour. That's okay because, you know, we're going to be having more shows. Now, Angel Divine is here for you tomorrow with messages from the angels, and she's the angelic whisperer, so she'll be whispering you angelic messages. She's been working on some new channel work, which I can't wait to hear. But in the meantime, if you need us, you can reach us over at psychic.biz, where, you know, my price is $1.99 per minute. You can get me on the phone or the chat or video chat if you make an appointment. And, all our psychics are over there, and they give you that really special deal of if you use the coupon code COFFEE, they'll give you $10 free with a $15 deposit, or you can use Summer16 and you get $5 free, and I don't think that takes a deposit. So I will see you guys on Wednesday at the Psychic Coffee Shop, and I'll talk to you guys later. Good night, all.